What did church figures think of a relationship with Rome? Because I'm sure there were some bishops or some church figures who didn't necessarily support Pope Sylvester I's decision of having Constantine, or pretty much the sort of fusion with the church at the time, where the church protected, or where the state protected the church, in a way.
Well, you're always going to have personal differences of opinion as to what is beneficial and what is not beneficial, but there was nothing ever institutional about, there wasn't a group of bishops who adamantly opposed the church. Honestly, I would have to say, from again, it's a lengthy historical
Mm-hmm.
investigation to go, who said this and who did. But collectively speaking, when let's speak about the church. I don't think that there could have been any voices in the church that would have said, no, we want to be persecuted and fed to lions and burned as lamps and all this kind of stuff because it was better back in those days. No, it was a good thing for the church. I don't think anybody could have ever argued that it was a good thing to be not only recognized and tolerated, but embraced by the secular authorities. But there again, I submit to you that that was what the Holy Spirit did for the church's benefit and comfort. It didn't have anything to, there might have been a bishop or two or three that, for some reason thought that it would be improper that the church would be engaged. But I mean, subsequent to that time in the 4th century when this happened, you have to look in the church has always been and ought to be integral with the authorities of the state. I mean, they are two different entities, but they are completely integral, particularly when you approach Jesus Christ's reign. He's not King of heaven. He's King of heaven and earth, the King of kings and Lord of lords. And so you have to appreciate the fact that for him to have influence through his church in the affairs of state, that's a given. That's what we should want. There ought not be this separation of church and state. That has never been Catholic teaching. The state ought to listen to the church as her conscience. The state ought never pass a law that contradicts the law of God. Well, that you subjectively, what's that? The law of God. You're